after taking over the team in 2000. He said, "It's an exciting weekend for us, a great opportunity to play against teams that come from arguably the top conference in the country." And the Virginia Cavaliers, currently seated at number 5, have represented the ACC well thus far and will look to do so again this evening. As both teams take a knee to represent unity within the ACC, now back on their feet, lined up on the pitch and ready for action on a humid day in Charlottesville. 80 degrees, but a high humidity at 67%. There was a short shower for about 30 minutes, roughly an hour before the start of the game, and a lot of that moisture still in the air, so going to be very important that both teams remain hydrated. Of course, cramping going to be something that we are going to look out for throughout the course of this 90-minute match. But as the first whistle blows, things are underway, and the Virginia Cavaliers are going to look to establish possession early. Talia Stouty, a leader of the Cavalier back line from Atlanta, Georgia, trying to work her way up the sideline with Guidry, but out of bounds, it will go to the Tigers. And getting to know the Memphis Tigers, they come into this game 3-2 overall, 1-1 away, playing an away game today. This is also their second ranked matchup of the season, as they fell to number 18 Ole Miss on August 21st. And off to the races early is Leah Godfrey. Godfrey unable to make the cut inside the 18, but knocked out of bounds by the Tigers. It will stay with Virginia for their first corner kick of the evening. Heading over to the near corner is number 3, the junior, Alexis Theoret from Haymarket, Virginia. A host of Cavaliers packing the middle of the 18. Theoret sending it in, trying to find Hopkins. Looked like she might have gotten her head on it, but too much. It will stay with Virginia on the far side. Now Jarrett trying to use the back line to her advantage, but cleared out. It will roll out of bounds on the far sideline and stay with the Cavaliers. Virginia comfortably trying to move their way into the attacking third of the pitch. Guidry with a strong tackle, and she will force the ball out of bounds off of the foot of the Tigers. Unable to retain possession was number 9, Maya Jones, the senior from Calgary, Alberta. And now it is up to Virginia to once again get back into a settled offensive set. Looking dangerous on this attack. They go to Jarrett. Jarrett, 3 defenders in front of her. And this time they'll opt to pull things out and slow things down at the foot of Stouty. And nobody there to receive that ball from the junior Lainey Rouse. It will be a goal kick and the first touch of the game for freshman goalkeeper Sarah Bozeman from Memphis. Bozeman, in her 3 starts, has made 7 saves and only allowed 4 goals, 3 of which coming against ACC opponent Louisville on Friday night. Now trying to find a teammate. Bozeman kicks one to Constant, and the Cavaliers are trying to come up with possession and a loose scrum. The ball falls to Godfrey. Godfrey tangled up in the legs of the captain for the Tigers, Grace Storty. And because of it, Storty will be charged with a foul, and Virginia will earn a free kick here in dangerous position, particularly at the foot of Godfrey, someone who has become very well known among the ACC and NCAA for her placement abilities. A go-to corner taker for the Cavaliers all last season. She'll be joined by Thierret at the ball. 2 Tigers creating the wall, and a host of Cavaliers ready to come in. It's Godfrey sending it inside off of the wall in front of her, but she's still got the ball. Jarrett trying to continue a Cavalier onslaught, but cleared out now in a foot race. Was Rouse into the middle of the field. Options there. The Tigers continuing to defend an offensive onslaught from the women in white. And now, patient and poised, Virginia will reset and look to reattack. Stouty over to Rouse. Nowhere for her to go. She'll go back to McCormick. Virginia trying to find any sort of seam in a high Tiger press as Stouty keeps that ball from trickling out of bounds. Memphis continuing to move their press up higher and higher, sensing the frustration from the Virginia back line as they have been unable to move the ball forward. Guidry being defended tenaciously. Still being pushed back, trying to make the tackle was Felton. And as Guidry goes to the ground, it will be a whistle and a Virginia possession. And taking advantage of their opportunity, it will be Stouty stepping up to take the ball. Plenty of room over on the far side as Constant calls for it. And now Virginia trying to buy up real estate. An impressive move by the Tigers, now looking to wake their way into the attacking third for the first time this evening, but that plot thwarted by the senior defender, Talia Stouty. Godfrey and Guidry playing a little two-man game to try to create some space in the middle of the field. And now that job will fall to Haley Hopkins on the far sideline, met with a little bit of contact. She'll be pushed off ball, and it will go to the Tigers. The Cavaliers dominating possession early, methodically trying to work their way into the attacking third. They have the only shot of the game. It was not on goal, but a shot nonetheless. And now both teams looking patient and poised as that ball will fall back to Bozeman, who's going to try to aid her defense in clearing the ball upfield. Memphis yet to get into their attacking third. Battling what is now an aggressive Virginia press as Godfrey chases down Bozeman. forcing her to send it all the way up to midfield. And with nobody there to cleanly receive the ball, it will fall for the first time of the evening back to Virginia goalkeeper Kayla White. In Virginia's Thursday matchup against JMU, White logged her second solo shutout of the season and her fourth of her career. Looking to continue to build on that streak alongside the Virginia defense, who has now held their last 5 opponents to 0 goals, much of which is what contributes to their 5-0 record coming into this game, as a dangerous ball sent into the middle. Fighting for it was Leah Godfrey, unable to hold possession. Now it's Hopkins with a 2-on-1. Godfrey providing help, and Virginia being forced out of the box. Back to midfield, where once again they will look to reset and penetrate. Spanstra with a good tackle dispossesses the Tigers, and now she'll head into the corner. 3 defenders in front of her. Spanstra tripped up and a whistle blown. It will be a foul on the Tigers, just outside of the far left corner. And now, though Spanstra was the first Cavalier to take the corner, it will be Godfrey heading over to the mark. Samar Guidry to her right, and a host of Cavaliers inside the 18. Watch for Hopkins to come in from the back and create a header opportunity on the near side post. 47 goals over the course of her career, a true testament to what the graduate transfer from Vanderbilt has done throughout her NCAA career. And as Jarrett was unable to control her one touch, the ball will be sent down past the Virginia back line. But a fantastic tackle from Lainey Rouse will give it back to the Cavaliers at the near sideline. 12 minutes in now to the first half of action here in Klockner Stadium. And so far, the Tigers really struggling to create any offensive opportunities, whereas on the other side, Virginia slowly, methodically applying pressure to create opportunities. Unable to seize an opportunity there, as that ball will go off of the foot of Claire Constant, the 5th-year Virginia native, and roll out of bounds for a Tiger possession. As Coach Monaghan for the Tigers tries to provide some insight from the sideline for his team, as Jarrett makes a strong tackle and with some help from Constant is able to retain possession for the Cavaliers. Rouse has that pass deflected. And it's up to Kayla White to restart things for the Cavaliers. The Virginia back line standing strong in the face of some pressure from the attacking duo for the Memphis Tigers of Peyton Felton and Maya Jones, Sarola Miller. As Constant doesn't quite put enough on that ball, and now the Tigers looking to make a move. Guidry tenaciously defending, forcing the ball back to the back line, and here comes Godfrey looking to pick it off. Sent to the outside, the Tigers will avoid that danger, but now we're going to look to create something as they dribble their ball down the far sideline. Into the attacking third for the first time this evening, but it's Rebecca Jarrett who makes quick work of that Tiger attack and forces the ball out of bounds just below the half-field line. Rouse with some impressive footwork to clear the danger there, but that pass will fall back to the Tigers as McCormick runs this one down to protect goalkeeper Kayla White, who will scoop things up and settle it once again. Stouty looking to find Spanstra, but not quite there. She gives a quick clap to appreciate the effort from the senior defender from Atlanta. It was the right idea, but just off on the execution. Now Memphis, once again, with a throw-in in front of their own bench. And off the foot of Felton, who could not control the throw-in. It'll be up to Guidry to bring the ball inbounds for the Cavaliers. A quick touch from Spanstra to Godfrey. Now Godfrey trying to take the middle of the field. Down to Spanstra, 2 in front of her. The Cavaliers really working hard to take up real estate in the middle of the pitch. The Tigers doing such a good job forcing them to the outside, protecting the center of their 18. And Sarah Bozeman, the freshman goalkeeper. Now Memphis looking to make a run, but the dynamic duo of Rouse and Stouty corrals the ball and gives back to White before sending it out to Guidry once again. Cavaliers trying to rock the Tigers to sleep with their back line, looking to create any sort of space. They find some there, though Theoret unable to fend off that pressure from a trio of Tigers. It will be blue possession on the far sideline. That pass intercepted. Memphis looking to make a run. A 4-on-3 in favor of the Cavaliers. Stouty looking to track this ball as the Tigers bring it inside the 18 for the first time of the evening. But a quick work for the senior from Atlanta, Talia Stouty, shuts that down, and now Jarrett's off to the races. A 3-on-3 with one trailing. Wide open on the backside. Spanstra. One in front of her. Spanstra will shoot and just wide of the right post. And her efforts will be acknowledged by the crowd here in Klockner Stadium. Tremendous vision to find Alexa Spanstra on the back post, the 5th year from Brighton, Michigan. Rare that she misses that opportunity, but you have to commend the defensive effort of number 2, the captain for the Tigers, Grace Storty, who came in and prevented what looked like a sure goal for the Virginia Cavaliers. And if you're just joining us here on the ACC Network, I'm William Fauché, live from Charlottesville, Virginia, as the lights come on at Klockner Stadium. It is the number 5 Cavaliers taking on the number 23 Tigers in the first ever meeting between these two programs. In a true testament to what Coach Monaghan has done with the Tiger program since taking over in 2000, coming off a second round appearance, of the NCAA tournament last season. Looking to get back there once again. Now it's Hopkins looking to find the goal. And a late whistle will be blown against the Cavaliers. The foul going to go to Haley Hopkins. Potentially a little bit too much contact with Tiger defender Haley Kirchhoff on the back line. And now Memphis looking to build on the first Cavalier foul of the night to turn it into an offensive opportunity. Over to Storty. And once again, Virginia making it very difficult for Memphis to possess the ball here in their home stadium. Reading that pass well for Memphis was Maya Jones. Now looking to turn it into something is Miller, but Miller quickly shut down by the Cavaliers, and now Virginia looking to attack. 4 on the back line for the Tigers. Rouse with 2 in front of her will knock it off the defender and keep possession on the far sideline for the women in white. Looking to find Hopkins. Hopkins with an impressive touch to keep it in bounds. Now applying the pressure is Rouse. Rouse with a good move to get into the 18. Pushing the end line. She puts it in. Intended for Spanstra, who was all by herself. But a critical defensive play from the Tigers. And Kirchhoff to shut down that opportunity. But don't speak too soon. It's Virginia back at it again. Though off the foot of Spanstra, it will go the other way with Memphis. Virginia defending the Tiger throw-ins very, very well on the near sideline, making it nearly impossible for them to get the ball in and keep possession. And it's just the constant pressure of the Virginia offense weighing against the Tigers right now. And so much of that has to be accredited to this back line of Stouty, Constant, McCormick, and Guidry, who have been so poised in moving the ball and attempting to create opportunities against this high Tiger press. As that ball kept in bounds, it's Guidry fighting for it. Though unable to keep it, Storty is trying to clear it out for the Tigers. Off the foot of Stouty, it will go the way of blue. Here with 23-12 remaining in the first half of action. And of course, one of the great challenges that Coach Monaghan and the Tigers must deal with when facing a team like Virginia is how do you balance sending players up into the box to create opportunities while trying to defend such a powerful Cavalier offense with names like Spanstra, Hopkins, Godfrey up top. Now they'll have their first true offensive opportunity of the evening in a corner from the near right side. The Tigers' first corner of the evening. Packing it in the 18. Only one defender. Back to protect Bozeman. It is up in off the head of a Cavalier defender. Still loose in the middle as Guidry tries to clear it. Now a good move by Jarrett. It's a 2-on-1. Now a 3-on-2. Jarrett finding an option. Trying to get that ball through with Spanstra. Deflected well. A critical breakup by the Tiger defense. And Godfrey, the intended recipient of that pass, somehow finding herself in the right place at the right time on multiple occasions already this evening. As Virginia will make its first substitution of the evening. Coming onto the pitch, number 10, the true freshman Maggie Cagle from Phoenix, Arizona, in exchange for the Cavalier veteran fifth-year Rebecca Jarrett. And Coach Swanson going to have a quick word with her. A name that Cavalier soccer fans know all too well for both her work on and off the field. Rebecca Jarrett, the true definition of a student athlete at the University of Virginia. Now it's up to her teammates to try to create something on the pitch. That ball sent into the middle, but nobody there and a little bit too much mustard. It'll fall to the hands of Sarah Bozeman who will settle things down and look for a safe way to clear this ball away from Hopkins and Spanstra, who are still very high applying the pressure. McCormick takes a touch to clear that one out the far sideline, and it will be a Memphis throw-in just short of midfield. Despite Virginia's dominance in the possession category thus far, only 2 shots to speak of compared to the Tigers' 1. A Virginia team that has done a very good job scoring over the course of their 5 games thus far, logging a 6-0 win over Loyola, Maryland, a 1-0 win over number 11 Georgetown, a 5-0 win over Farley Dickinson, and a 2-0 win over in-state rival JMU. They'll look to build on their 5-game shutout streak this evening, and so far have done a good job doing so, thanks to the poise and composure of the Cavalier back line with the ball at their feet. Now Stouty trying to create something with it. Has that pass intercepted by Storty, out of bounds off the foot of Guidry. It will stay with the women in blue. Godfrey fighting for possession. It's the Tigers working it down the near sideline. An attempted lead ball will be unsuccessful for Sorolla Miller, and now it will be a Tiger throw-in just at the attacking third position, an opportunity for them to potentially create something, though Virginia, as I said, has done a very good job defending the inbound thus far, as Stouty working to box out. Miller does a great job doing so, and now Virginia looking to create some space. A whistle as Maggie Cagle goes to the ground. It will be a foul on Memphis, their 3rd foul of the evening, as the clock ticks down under 18. Here in the first half at Klockner Stadium in Charlottesville, Virginia, I'm William Fauché on the ACC Network. Thank you so much for joining us for some top 25 Division I women's soccer action. The number 5 Virginia Cavaliers looking to best the number 23 Memphis Tigers in their 2nd ranked matchup of the season. And with that ball rolling out of bounds, the Cavaliers will make 2 more substitutions, their 2nd and 3rd of the evening, bringing in number 14, the senior Emma Dawson, and number 21, Chloe Japik. And with them coming on to the pitch, it will be Samar Guidry and Claire Constant earning a rest. As we mentioned, a very hot and humid day after about a 30-minute rain shower prior to the game. Hydration going to be critical as we go over the course of this 90 minutes to prevent cramping and injury out on the field. It's no surprise to see Coach Swanson leaning on the depth of his roster this early. Virginia looking to attack with Spanstra, brought to the ground by Storty. Another whistle, and it looks like the officials will pull a card out of the pocket. The first card of the evening will be charged to Grace Storty, the junior out of Calgary, Alberta, the captain of this Memphis Tigers team and the leader of their back line. And now, after a physical start to this game, she will have to be a little bit more careful to prevent a second yellow, as that card certainly came with a verbal warning from the officials. Stouty opting to play this ball across. It will go back to McCormick. And once again, the Cavalier back line now pressed up very high on the pitch. Will look to form an attack. Stouty to the middle, a host of Cavaliers crashing, a header saved by Bozeman. A tremendous ball from Stouty. Great contact in the 18, but an even better save by the freshman goalkeeper, Sarah Bozeman. Rouse found herself in the perfect position for the Cavaliers in a one-on-one situation. But Sarah Bozeman will add to her 7 saves over 3 games with a massive one there inside the 6-meter ahead of this Cavalier corner. Short ball sent in. It's Godfrey running for it, unable to get there. It'll be cleared out by the Tiger back line and reset with Rouse. Now several more substitutions. It'll be the first 2 for the Tigers and the 4th for the Virginia Cavaliers. And checking in for Memphis is number 14, the true freshman, Zoe May. And number 21, the sophomore, Ann Valerie Cito. As Virginia sets up for another corner this time. It will be Theoret stepping into the corner again. Virginia's 3rd corner from this position. It was their first from the far side just before the substitutions. Opted to go short to Godfrey last time. Let's see if they'll go into the middle once again. Virginia crashing into the 6, trying to find that back post, but unable to do so was Theoret. And now both teams going to take their time setting up for a goal kick. Sarah Bozeman certainly going to take a deep breath following a tremendous one-on-one save against the header from Rouse. In only her 4th start. Over the course of her last 3 starts, she made 7 saves while allowing 4 goals. Today, she'll add another save to that list while holding the Virginia Cavaliers at 0 through 32 minutes of play. As Coach Swanson will send number 26, the freshman from Troy, Michigan, Maya Carter, out onto the pitch in exchange for grad student Haley Hopkins. Hopkins, the powerful leader of the Cavalier offense up top, along with Spanstra. Hopkins is one of 5 active NCAA players with 30 goals and 20 assists over the course of her career. She has 47 goals and 22 assists for 116 points. And after transferring from Vanderbilt last year to Virginia, what an addition she has been to Coach Swanson's already star-studded roster. As Spanstra tries for the quick throw-in, unable to keep possession of the Cavaliers, and it will be another Tiger goal kick. And another foul against the Tigers will draw a whistle and a setup for a Virginia free kick. And instead of setting up the set piece, trying to go quickly with this one, taking to the middle of the field. That ball sent in, and Bozeman going to come out on her line and gobble that one up. The true freshman looking fantastic early in this game for the Memphis Tigers. And what an opportunity that this weekend has been for Memphis Coach Monaghan, as I said, just saying how exciting it was to be playing against ACC talent. He said that we're going to have to be our best to be able to compete. Well, thus far, compete they have, holding the Cavaliers to 0 goals over 34 minutes of play. And while Virginia has dominated possession, the Tiger back line seems unfazed and just as poised as they were at the beginning of this match, as Alexis Fanstra checks off in exchange for Sarah Brunner, the junior from Jacksonville, Florida, for the Virginia Cavaliers. And a big weekend all around for Virginia athletics as fall sports get back into their full swing. Multiple field hockey games, a lot of fantastic soccer action, and of course, the Virginia Cavaliers football team playing in their home stadium of Scott Stadium yesterday, defeating in-state rival Richmond. Starting quarterback Brennan Armstrong in the crowd this evening, supporting his fellow Cavalier athletes. And so far, they are providing a show for the fans that have poured into Klockner Stadium for this Sunday night Division I women's soccer action, as the Cavaliers continue to put pressure on Memphis, methodically working their way down the field. That ball sent out of bounds. It will stay with the Cavaliers on the near sideline, running over to throw it in. They're going to try to go with some pace up the far sideline, but dispossessed by a host of Tigers. It'll fall back to McCormick. Now Stouty looking to the middle of the field. Options in front of her, but unable to thread the needle on that occasion. Loose in the middle of the field. Shot deflected, but a whistle blown. It will be offside. A tremendous run to try to create something from Sarah Brunner, the junior Florida native. But the far line judge raising the flag, and will keep Virginia scoreless thus far. 8:09 remaining in the first half. And while the Cavaliers have owned the possession category over the course of this first half, it has not been the same electrifying offense that Virginia women's soccer fans are used to seeing, and much of that, you would have to imagine, is due to the loss of star striker Diana Ordonez, who now is a member of the Orlando City FC team. A tremendous player who certainly left her mark on this program, opting out of another year of college ball to go and play at the professional level. Now it's up to the rest of her former teammates to get the job done. And the Virginia back line in a bit of a scramble there, as the Tigers kicking it up a notch as time ticks down to 7 minutes remaining, trying for a quick move, but unable to complete it. It was Maggie Cagle. And now she, along with her fellow teammates, will force the Tigers back to midfield. Still trying the far sideline. The Tigers advancing into the attacking third, but with very little room to run, letting that ball roll out of bounds Is grad student defender Sarah Clark for the Virginia Cavaliers. A high IQ play from an experienced player will set Kayla White up for a goal kick as Coach Swanson sends number 15, Brianna Jablonowski, onto the pitch in exchange for Leah Godfrey. Godfrey, who has been all over the field for Virginia thus far, is on a 2-game scoring streak thus far, while also leading all active NCAA Division I players in the assists per game category with .49 per game over the course of her career. And though that ball sent beautifully into the middle of the field, the flag will once again, go up against the Cavaliers. And offside will be the violation. And you can tell now more comfortable with the Tiger defense that they're facing. Virginia trying for more and more runs, getting a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end, though remaining poised as ever on the back line. Now fighting to get the ball out of trouble are the Tigers, with Maya Jones. Teammates calling for help. Jones still has it. 2 defenders in front of her, and that ball will finally be dislodged and roll back to Alexis Theoret. Theoret taking her time with this one as she gives over to Kayla White. Memphis pressing up. McCormick taking advantage of the green space it allotted. Plenty of real estate on the far side of the field. McCormick was trying to find Stouty to take advantage of it, but now the Tigers picking off that pass. Got to take a long strike, and just outside the top left corner. It will be a goal kick for Virginia. A powerful shot from true freshman Zoe May out of Ottawa, Ontario. Just off the mark, but it will go down in the stat sheet as the Tigers' second shot of the evening. Trying to create anything to get on the board against the number 5 ranked Virginia team. Now they're looking to do the same. Unable to get to that ball, though. It will be Sarah Bozeman once again running out to gobble it up. Coach Monaghan telling his team to push, take advantage of a high set Virginia back line. Still a crowd of Cavaliers in front of them. They'll try another long strike, but easy work for Kayla White, who will snatch that out of the air, coming off of her second solo shutout of the season and the 4th of her career against JMU on the 1st. Looking to expand on that streak this evening. As Theoret showing off some of her twinkle toes. Time continuing to tick down towards 2 minutes. And Virginia, in seemingly no rush, feeling out their opponent, continuing to be methodical about their approach. Now looking to make it lethal. In the middle of the field, there's the strike shot and go! The Virginia Cavaliers open it up from outside the 18. And how about that strike? The junior from Centerport, New York, Brianna Jablonowski, finds herself with the ball, a cut to the middle, and a right-footed strike to not be forgotten. Just past the hands of Sarah Bozeman. And if that doesn't show you how quickly this Cavalier offense can explode, I don't know what will. Now with 2 minutes remaining, the Virginia Cavaliers leading the Memphis Tigers 1-0 at home off of a tremendous strike from Jablonowski from outside the 18. And she'll receive a strong ovation from the teammates and fans alike. And you could really see the bench just explode with excitement, supporting the junior from New York. And now putting them ahead in their second-ranked matchup of the season. Now Memphis with short time, trying to come up with a response. They'll take a bouncing shot, but slight work for Kayla White, who will grab it off one hop and take her time to send this ball out as time ticks down to under a minute remaining in the first half of play. 4 shots for Virginia over the course of the first 45, 2 of them on goal and 1 of them into the back of the net. As that ball popped loose, it's McCormick popping it away. Memphis trying to get it back in quickly to utilize the last 20 seconds of play. Virginia batting it around the near sideline, taking seconds off the clock with each pass.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
And as that ball rolls to the far right corner, the first 45 buzzer will sound. And at the end of the first half, it is the Virginia Cavaliers leading the Memphis Tigers 1-0 off of a tremendous in a top 25 Division I women's soccer matchup. Thank you so much for joining us here on the ACC Network. I am William Fauché. A beautiful night in Charlottesville as the temperature has started to drop and the lights have come on in the scenic hills surrounding us. We are back into action with the Tigers kicking things off and charging downfield early. And the story of the first half was Virginia dominating possession. Though it only led to 4 total shots and 2 on goal for the Cavaliers, 1 of them found the back of the net and will keep the Cavaliers on top. Now charging down the field, looking to do it again. Ball at the foot of Jarrett, who was subbed off in the first half and now brought back on. Jarrett crosses one into the middle, and it's Bozeman who gets a hand on it to push it out the 18. And despite letting in that 1 goal, Bozeman, the freshman goalkeeper for the Memphis Tigers, has had a tremendous night of play. 1 critical save in a one-on-one situation, getting her hands on the header from Lainey Rouse. Kept the game at 0-0 for longer than Cavalier fans would have liked. Now trying to work her way through a double team. It will be Rouse earning a throw-in deep in Cavalier attacking territory. Now the Tigers trying to get out of a sticky situation will ricochet that ball off the foot of McCormick and take possession deep in their defending territory. And Virginia has been so formidable on these throw-ins against Memphis, making it so difficult for them to get the ball in. And it's part of what has allowed them to dominate possession the way they have, along with the poise and composure of the Cavalier back line, taking their time and waiting for the right opportunity, not any opportunity, to strike. Now McCormick over to Rouse with plenty of green space in front of her. The starting back line for Virginia of Rouse, Constant, McCormick, and Stouty back onto the field. And though that ball slipped through, Jarrett unable to recover. Memphis trying to make something of this possession. In a 2-on-1 foot race for the ball, it's Stouty who finishes first and is able to keep possession by handing it over to McCormick. Still loose on the ground off the foot of Memphis. It will be Virginia ball. And the senior Lacey McCormick has been outstanding for the Virginia Cavaliers as a vocal leader on the back line throughout the course of this game alongside fellow senior Stouty holding down the center back positions. And when we reference the composure of the back line, it has largely been the composure of those two individuals in setting up each and every opportunity for the Cavaliers. Now it's Rouse trying to do her part. Dispossessed, but still fighting hard. Now the Tigers with space in front of them trying to take the middle of the field. This ball sent into the 18, but outside the left post on the ground. Kayla White will let it go out for a Cavalier goal kick. And Sorolla Miller, the senior out of Nova Scotia for the Memphis Tigers, has been fighting hard up top, both on offense and defense, applying a lot of pressure to the Cavalier back line and what's been a high Tiger press throughout the course of the first 50 minutes of play. Though it's been unsuccessful, they've had several opportunities thwarted, matching Virginia in shots at 4 in the first 45 minutes of play, though only one was on goal. Now at the foot of Hopkins. Back on the pitch for Virginia, trying to find Jarrett. Jarrett in the middle of the field, pushed from the back. And a late whistle going to go against the Cavaliers. It looked like a handball call on Rebecca Jarrett. Cavalier fans in the stadium here at Klockner not happy about that call, as it seemed Jarrett was brought to the ground by the Tiger defense. The officials seem to think otherwise. And now Godfrey trying to get her team back into the attacking third. She'll opt for the middle of the field. Plenty of space on the other side as Rouse steps up into position. Now with the ball at her feet. Trying for a 1-2. It's not there, and now off to the races. Going the other way are the Tigers. The leading scorer, Momo Nakau, trying to create something out of the midfield, but unable to do so. And though we have not heard much from her this evening, Momo Nakau, the sophomore out of Japan, has led the Tigers throughout the course of this season with 3 goals and 1 assist, and finds herself on a 3-game goal streak coming into this evening. Constant has that pass taken from right underneath her. Now loose. Macau trying to get there. Popped up into the air again. Tigers still fighting with the Cavaliers for possession. Knocked around several times in an attempt to create some sort of space. Kimberly Smith, the 5th-year Netherlands native, will pop it up high into midfield, and now it's up to Kayla White to reset things for the Virginia Cavaliers. McCormick taking space in the middle of the field. Back over to Rouse. Rouse, plenty of room to work in front of her. She's trying to find Hopkins in the 18. Down on the ground, shot ricocheted high up into the air. Off of the leg of a Tiger defender, it will be goal kick Memphis. As the Missouri native tells her team to push upfield and take space away from this Cavalier offense. Bozeman manages to connect with one Tiger in the midfield. Now trying to take up space, but unable to do so is Peyton Felton, as her pass will trickle out of bounds and fall to Samar Guidry for the throw-in. Now looking to press their attack. Down the right sideline. Stouty gets a foot on it. The ball is still loose. But in an effort to shut things down quickly, Kayla White will run out, scoop, and hold for Virginia to reset at the foot of McCormick. Stouty charging upfield, gives to Godfrey. Now Virginia looking dangerous in their attack as Spanstra carries to the middle of the field. It's Hopkins. Hopkins, one touch, could have had it, but Bozeman runs out on her line, gobbles it up, and stops with what surely could have been a goal at the foot of grad student Vanderbilt transfer Haley Hopkins. Hopkins, who has 47 goals over the course of her career, nearly made it 48. Into the middle of the field, Hopkins unable to put enough on that back heel touch to find her teammate streaking into the 18, but now up to Spanstra to create space. She'll go to Godfrey, and now Rouse will take up room on the near side. Into the middle. Rouse unable to connect. Falls to Constant. Virginia still batting the ball back and forth. Jarrett trying to apply pressure to the Tiger defense, and it will be enough to force the ball out of bounds and keep possession for the women in white. Hopkins trying to show off her skill, will opt to lay it out to Jarrett. Jarrett pops it high up into the air over the back of the net, and it will be another goal kick for the Memphis Tigers. Tigers currently down 1-0, trying to prevent a 2-game loss streak following their 2-3 defeat against fellow ACC competitor Louisville on the first. Now this ball loose in the middle of the field. McCormick trying to get down to apply pressure, looking to cut back into the middle of the field, but McCormick in perfect position to make a crucial tackle for the Cavaliers. Stops the Tigers in their track. Now Guidry trying to get out of a sticky situation. Possession will stay with Virginia. Quick to get it into Spanstra. Spanstra trying to create room. Goes to the ground, but no whistle will come with it. And finally, After a little bit of excessive contact from Grace Storty to Leah Godfrey, Storty will draw the foul, and it will set up a Virginia free kick. Long ball finds Hopkins just at the top of the 18. Options in front of her. Dispossessed, brought to the ground just at the 18-meter line. And it looks like the officials will spot it just above what would be a penalty kick situation. And for the second time this evening, Leah Godfrey will set up for a free kick in dangerous position for a player of her skill and accuracy. And you could see just how close that ball is to the 18-meter line. You have to commend the work of the officiating staff for properly locating that foul. And now a whistle from the officials. It looks like they will take this to a video replay to determine the exact spot of the violation. And with that, both teams going to get a quick break in the action, a moment to catch their breaths on what has been a hot and humid evening in Charlottesville, Virginia. And if you're just joining us here on the ACC Network, it is a gorgeous night at Klockner Stadium with the sun setting behind us. Here on the ACC Network, I'm William Fauché. Thank you for joining us for some tremendous Top 25 Women's Division I soccer action. Just before this break, a foul called on the Tigers just outside of the box. The officiating staff now at the video replay station trying to determine the exact location of the call. From the press box, it did appear to be outside of the 18. However, thanks to the video review, the officials will be able to get what is hopefully the most accurate call that they can. And for the Memphis Tigers, this is a monumental moment in this game, trailing 1-0 as a penalty kick would potentially give Virginia an insurance goal. Coach Swanson heading over, trying to get a glimpse at the replay station as the officials come back out onto the field. We will await their determination. And thanks to the video review, it looks like this will be a penalty kick. Let's take another look. You can see the ball just inside the 18, still there. She's got 1 foot in, and the violation to Hopkins' body does happen inside the 18-meter mark. And so with that, the Virginia Cavaliers will set up for a penalty kick with the team's leading scorer, Hopkins, one of 5 active NCAA players with 30 goals and 20 assists, 47 goals and 22 assists over the course of her career. Nearly made it 48 a few minutes ago. Let's see if she'll find the back of the net on this occasion. Charging up to the ball, the right-footed strike is in the back of the net. And the Virginia Cavaliers will capitalize on a penalty kick following a VAR review. And the graduate transfer, Haley Hopkins, will bury the ball with her right foot just past the outstretched arms of freshman goalkeeper Bozeman for the Memphis Tigers. And just like that, the Virginia Cavaliers lead the number 23 Memphis Tigers 2-0. An astute call by the officiating staff to head to the video review. They mended the original call, awarding Haley Hopkins a penalty kick. And in true form, the veteran leader of this Cavalier team buries it in the back of the net. Now 48 goals over the course of her career. Hopkins is third among active Division I players in points with 116 and goals. Now 48. And she isn't showing any signs of slowing down. And you have to think that that goal will bring a sigh of relief to the Virginia fan section and bench alike. A little bit of insurance as Jarrett continues to charge in. That ball off of the face of Tiger captain Kimberly Smith, the fifth-year Netherlands native. And so possession will stay with the women in white. Jarrett unable to place that short ball back to Rouse. Gives Memphis a lucky break deep in their own defending territory. Seeing the congestion on the sideline, Rouse opts for the middle, and now Stouty trying to switch the sides of the field. Looking for green spaces and bright opportunities is Rouse. Now the Tigers in a 2-on-3 in favor of the Cavaliers. Make that a 2-on-4. McCormick and Rouse defending. Sorolla Miller tenaciously will force that ball out of bounds and put the Tigers in a deep throw-in position. Once again, McCormick, who you see on your screen, showcasing her defensive acumen out on the pitch. Into the middle, Stouty gets a foot on it, and now Virginia trying to clear it away. At the foot of Godfrey. Godfrey trying to find Spanstra. Spanstra with one in front of her and plenty of room to work. She's looking for Hopkins. Hopkins free with two in front of her. And that attempt thwarted in glorious fashion by Kimberly Smith. Forcing that ball out of bounds. It looks like it will be yet another Cavalier corner. And excuse me, not a corner. It will be called a deep throw-in as Rouse puts it in bounds. Trying to get away from the sideline. It's the Tigers who look to clear the ball to brighter spaces, and a foul called on McCormick will now give the Tigers a free kick. 27 minutes remaining here in a top 25 Division I women's soccer matchup on the ACC Network. Thank you for joining us on a glorious evening in Charlottesville, Virginia. I'm William Fauché. It has been an action-packed night. 2 goals for the Virginia Cavaliers, one coming from outside the 18 off of the boot of Brianna Jablanowski, and the second coming to a VAR penalty kick. Could we see a third? Gobbled up by Bozeman, who, despite allowing 2 into the back of the net, continues to make her presence felt as a true freshman on this Tiger team. Virginia patiently preparing their attack. The Tigers starting to apply some pressure. Jarrett working to get away from it. She'll take to the middle of the field with space in front of her. Now to Spanstra, squaring up her defender. Fighting their way into the 18, they'll take the end line. 2 in front. Ball loose in the middle of the field as one Cavalier hits the ground. No whistle blown. And it's the Tigers trying to clear things out as McCormick comes up, puts a boot on it, pops it up into the air, and gives Memphis a throw-in in their own territory. As a host of substitutions come onto the field for both teams. Checking in for the Tigers, it's number 14, Zoe May, who we saw come in and have an immediate impact in the first half of play. For Virginia, it is Alexis Theoret. Checking in for Rebecca Jarrett. Down the far sideline, it's Spanstra in a foot race. Fighting for it from the backside, unable to do so. Too much physical contact will charge her with a foul. And once again, give the Tigers a free kick deep in their own territory. The Cavaliers doing such a good job of remaining poised despite their 2-goal advantage, as the Tigers look to come up with any sort of answer offensively in a game that has had possession dominated by the women in white. It's Theoret trying to back heel it off, but unable to accurately place that pass. It will go to the Tigers, as Shea Taylor, the true freshman out of British Columbia, checks in for Memphis to replace the senior Maya Jones. A loose ball falls to the foot of Spanstra. Hopkins trying to run out. Bozeman coming way out of the 18 to get there. Hopkins almost got her body in front of it. And as Bozeman retreats, Godfrey trying to keep this offensive attack going. Though now it will be White and the Virginia back line resetting with plenty of space and time to do so. And a late whistle following contact with Godfrey will be a foul on Memphis. And that will go against number 24, Haley Spray, the junior out of Texas. And Virginia in no rush to get this back going, continuing to be poised, patient, and methodical in their approach, leading by 2. And an elbow from Mackenzie Bray will give another foul to the Tiger stat sheet. Their 9th of the evening. And that ball unable to successfully find a target will roll out the back line and set the freshman goalkeeper, Sarah Bozeman, up for a goal kick. Hopkins remaining high in the 18 as head coach Steve Swanson for the Virginia Cavaliers in his 23rd season with the program will make another substitution, bringing Claire Constant off of the pitch in exchange for number 14, Emma Dawson. Cavaliers continuing to control pace and possession. Go over to Stouty, who takes up space. Finding Spanstra in the back corner. Spanstra going to have to make a move to put this in. She's got Dawson Hopkins in front of her. And instead of continuing to press into pressure, they'll back it out and reset with the Virginia back line. Sarah Clark trying to move it into the middle. Theorette prevents what surely would have been a turnover in dangerous fashion. Now Stouty and Godfrey playing a 1-2 game. Into the middle is Dawson. Dawson almost gets her head on it, but just above. That ball will roll out the back line, but tremendous vision from Leah Godfrey to find her teammate open inside the 18. Now under 20 minutes of play remaining in Charlottesville, Virginia. The lights shining bright over Klockner Stadium. It's the Memphis Tigers trying to prevent back-to-back losses. Trailing the number 5 Virginia Cavaliers 2-0 after 65 minutes of play. Down to Hopkins, 2 in front of her. Contact with her left hand will draw the whistle and a handball from the officiating staff. An unlucky break for the grad transfer as she attempted to chase down that through ball. Virginia trying to inbound the ball into crowded territory. They managed to do so, and now will bring it open to the wide spaces of the near side of the pitch. Charging in, it's Hopkins making a run. 2 in front of her. Trying to create some space with the back heel. That ball will be out of bounds on the Tigers and stay with Virginia, just at the edge of their attacking territory. And with the luxury of a 2-goal lead, Virginia in no rush to force their attack. Instead, they find Dawson in the middle of the field. The ball still loose as Dawson pokes it back out. Now Spanstra trying to create space. Godfrey with 3 in the middle. Still loose. It falls to Hopkins. Hopkins unable to control it. And Virginia carefully batting it back and forth. Unable to find that cross, but still managing to control possession. Taking to the middle of the field. The shot with the left foot right to the arms of Bozeman. But a vigilant strike from Maggie Cagle. The true freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, did not start this game, but certainly has made her presence felt as a substitute, both in the first and second halves. Both teams tied up at midfield. Now with room to run. Alonzo pushing into the 18 with the left. Ball sent through the middle. Read beautifully by Stouty and cleared out the other way. Now Spanstra on a run. 1 in front of her. It's a foot race. She's got Hopkins. Hopkins in the middle of the field. Alone. Shot. Goal! A beautiful piece of counterattacking puts the Virginia Cavaliers up 3 and gives Haley Hopkins the 49th goal of her career. How about that ball from Leah Godfrey? Beautifully placed for Alexa Spanstra, who had Hopkins all by herself right through the 5-hole of Bozeman. And the Virginia Cavaliers keep on rolling. And Haley Hopkins adds to her record just as Spanstra does. Coming into this game sitting at 6 all-time in assists with 31. She had 2 against Farley Dickinson and will log yet another here this evening at home in front of a packed house in Klockner Stadium. Now Stouty trying to shut down an attack by the Tigers in the middle of the field. That shot sent wide right of the post, a potentially dangerous opportunity, and a thumbs up from Maya Jones to her teammate for the effort, though the strike did not find itself in between the frame. The Virginia Cavaliers continuing to show just how powerful their offense is. We touched on it in the first half. 3 goals against George Mason, 6 against Loyola, Maryland, 1 against number 11 Georgetown, 5 against Farley Dickinson, 2 against JMU, and now 3 against the number 23 ranked Memphis Tigers. 50% rate of shots on goal finding the back of the net, and 33% of total shots finding the back of the net here this evening. The Tigers not shying away, though, trying to create something. That ball will find itself loose in the middle of the field. White tried to come out for it, but sensing pressure, the Virginia back line bats that out of bounds. A deep throw-in will keep possession at the foot of Miller. Miller trying to get her way out of the corner. Will send it into the middle directly to Leah Godfrey. And a handball from the officials will set Virginia up for a free kick with 13:26 remaining. As Coach Swanson looks to bring in 2 more substitutes onto the field. Out of bounds, that ball will stay with the women in white. And now, at a break in the action, Virginia will be able to bring on 2 substitutes. Checking in is the first goal scorer of the evening, the junior Brianna Jablonowski, who had a banger from outside of the 18, and along with her is the junior Sarah Bruner. Bruner, the Florida native, checking in for Leah Godfrey, who has certainly done her part for this crew. And out of bounds on the Tiger end line, it will be a Memphis goal kick for Sarah Bozeman. Bozeman, over the course of her 3 starts leading up to this game, had only allowed 4 goals. Well, today in Charlottesville, the Cavaliers have put 3 past her and are showing no signs of relenting in their pursuit of a 4th. with 11:30 remaining here on the ACC Network. I'm William Fauché. Thank you for joining us for some tremendous and exhilarating Top 25 Women's Division I soccer action.
Goal kick on Memphis.
Time continuing to tick down as the Virginia squad soaking in the adoration of a packed Klockner Stadium here on a Sunday night. Plenty of fans coming out to see the number 5 team in the nation. And they have certainly gotten their money's worth. 3 goals on the day. 1 from the junior, Brianna Jabanowski, and 2 from the grad transfer, Haley Hopkins, who has now extended her career goal numbers to 49. A nothing short of sterling career up to this point, and still plenty of time left in it as the Cavaliers try to earn possession back here at the end line in their attacking third. Battling hard, they go to Dawson. Now to the middle of the field. That ball deflected, booted out, and it'll be up to McCormick and Stouty to control this one. Now racing back, the Virginia back line. As Memphis continuing to battle to try to get anything back from this 3-0 deficit. That ball into the middle, a header pops high, but easy work for the goalkeeper, Kayla White, who has been tremendous in the few times that she has had to step out this evening. Virginia in no rush to create. Demonstrating their poise over the course of 90 minutes. Leading by 3, but have not missed a beat as they continue to attack the far sideline. A decisive tackle by the Tigers, trying to turn things around for the counterattack. McCormick is there. And now the Cavalier back line will clear it out to greener spaces. Ball going down to Dawson. Dawson, 2 defenders in front of her. Dispossessed. And now Virginia working their way into the middle, trying to find a teammate, was Meredith McDermott, the freshman out of Nashua, New Hampshire. Nobody was there for her, and now the Tiger attack is on its way. Charging down the sideline, they go to the middle of the field. Miller unable to keep her boot on it. We'll have that ball sent back past midfield to her back line. Now Virginia battling for possession. 6:30 remaining under the lights here at Klockner Stadium. And despite how much action they have had with the ball, the Virginia defense showing no signs of fatigue after 85 minutes of what has really been a game controlled by them, dictating how the offense will look, how they will shape up their attack. And you've got to give a head nod to Lacey McCormick as she heads off the pitch in exchange for Tatum Galvin, the senior Maryland native. McCormick and Stouty, the dynamic duo of senior center backs, has set the tone for the Cavaliers all the way throughout the course of this game. And now McDermott looking to build on Virginia's momentum. The ball's still loose. Running it down was Bruner, but unable to keep it in the play area. It will set up for a goal kick for Sarah Bozeman and the Tigers with 5 minutes remaining. 9 shots for the Cavaliers, 6 of them on goal, 3 of them in the back of the net. A truly impressive stat line from an offense that seems to just keep getting better game by game. In what has been potentially their best performance of the season against the top 25 team here at home in front of a full house. The Tigers trying to get anything together with a long ball down all the way into the corner. They managed to keep possession, still loose. But it will be Theoret who will collect control and clear things out for Virginia. Now off to the races once again. 3-on-3. Ball loose. Bozeman trying to come out. Shot and goal. Subbed on just minutes ago. Number 18, Sarah Bruner, the junior from Florida, finds herself in a one-on-one and makes quick work of it. She could choose finesse or power. She went with finesse and found the back left corner to give Virginia its 4th goal of the evening. Prior to this, Bozeman only allowing 4 goals over 3 starts. Well, Virginia has doubled that statistic this evening. And what an impressive showing it has been. Following a slow start throughout the course of the first 30 minutes of play, a lot of back and forth, Virginia methodically feeling out the defense that they were faced with. But once the gates opened, they did not close. Jablanowski with 1, Hopkins with 2, and now Bruner with the 4th. And as that ball went out the back line, it will be a Tiger corner kick with 3:28 remaining as they look to put anything on the board after allowing 4 unanswered. Loose in the middle of the field, multiple legs on it. Still trying to clear it out. There will be a whistle. And as one Cavalier hit the ground, it'll be a foul against Memphis and a free kick inside the goal box. And if you are Kayla White, the Virginia goalkeeper, you are now starting to taste the 3rd solo shutout of the season and the 5th of her career. Leading 4-0 with 2:33 remaining. And the Virginia defense looking as stout as they did at the beginning of this 90 minutes. While the defense looks stout, the offense has not stopped rolling, fighting their way into the 18. The ball is there, shot off the right foot, but deflected off of the Tigers. They will say it was off the Cavaliers, as Virginia brings in what could only be assumed to be its final substitution of the night. Junior Grace Santos, the Charlottesville native, checking into the game in front of her home crowd. With 2:05 remaining, it's Bozeman bringing the ball back into play for the Tigers. A relentless effort from Virginia on the pitch tonight. And a Tiger team that knew that it would have to play its best to compete against the number 5 team in the nation. And as Coach Monaghan said, potentially the top conference in Division I women's soccer. So far, Virginia has shown them just how good the ACC is. As time still stopped to reset the clock, it had ticked down to 1:58, now reset to 2:06. Another whistle and a foul on Virginia. Under 2 minutes remaining. The Tigers still in pursuit of their first goal, as a big-time hit taken there by number 18, Sarah Bruner. The 4th goal scorer for Virginia went up into the air and caught the full shoulder of Ann Valerie Cito. And you hate to see that with 1:43 remaining in the second half, as Coach Swanson and the Virginia training staff heads out to check on her. Now getting up and walking off the field on her own accord to an appreciative ovation from the Virginia fan section for their 4th goal scorer of the evening, as she'll step off the pitch and bring Lainey Rouse back into action. And now, as the officials take the field once again, they will blow the whistle and play will resume with 1:43 remaining on the clock. Virginia going to take their time and savor every second of what looks to be a 4-0 victory over their second top 25 opponent of the season. May we have spoke too soon, potentially. Charging down the field, shot, goal! Scratch 4, make it 5, as the Virginia Cavaliers come out of the injury stoppage hot. And it is number 15, Brianna Jabonowski, who finds the back of the net for the 2nd time this evening. And another one-on-one with freshman goalkeeper Sarah Bozeman. And just like that, with 1:21 remaining, Virginia finds its 5th goal of the evening. Against the freshman goalkeeper who prior to this had only allowed 4 goals over the course of her 3 starts. The number 5 Virginia Cavaliers have now put up 5. And now Rousey continuing to attack. Rouse unable to successfully put that in, as the 1-minute announcement is made. That ball will go out of bounds and stay with the Cavaliers. No reason to rush here for Virginia. Dawson lays it back to the back line. Down to 30 seconds remaining. Rouse still moving Virginia into the attacking third. It's Dawson with 2 in front of her, trying to kill time. It'll go out on the Tigers and remain with the Cavaliers. Now 13 seconds remaining. It'll be Virginia ball, presumably the last touch of the evening. Will go to Emma Dawson as she carries it into the corner. And at the end of 90 minutes here in Klockner Stadium, it is the Virginia Cavaliers who come out on top 5-0. And let's take a look at how we got here. First, it was the fantastic strike from Jablinowski outside of the 18. Then here comes Spanstra